Your manifestation routine is probably not working for you, and here's why. You've probably been told that in order to manifest, you need to visualize yourself in the goal, see yourself through your own eyes, feel what it's like to be there and just be that person, right? Well, this is what we're told to do, and this is the reason why it's not working. There are some things you need to know about the mind, how the mind functions, and when you learn this, you'll also understand that visualizing yourself being in the goal creates the exact opposite effect of what you want to achieve. So in this video, I'll show you a super efficient technique that will turn that around for you in a second so that you can go on and manifest all the goals that you want in your life. The first secret about the mind you need to know in order to manifest your goals is about motivation. Because yes, your mind also needs motivation. When you're manifesting, you're working with your subconscious mind, and your subconscious mind is following a few rules that you need to know. So first of all, let's speak about motivation. A lot of people are so focused on reaching the actual goal because they think that when they get to the goal, they'll be so happy, they'll be healthy, they'll be, whatever that feeling you think you'll get when you reach the goal. And yes, I still think that we should set goals and manifest, and I still think it's really cool to achieve the goals. There's only one thing you need to know. When you reach your goal, there'll be a squirt of dopamine. You'll get that good feeling. Your mind will give you dopamine. But, and here's a big but, it won't last for very long. You'll get that great sensation, you reach your goal, and then it's gone. Why does that happen? Why doesn't that dopamine feeling just stay forever? Because it's so good, isn't it? Well, dopamine is there for a reason. Dopamine is there in order to give you energy so that you can move your body, and drive so that you actually want to reach your goal. It is motivation. Dopamine is motivation. Your subconscious mind needs motivation in order to work for your goal. In order for manifestation to work, your subconscious mind also needs to be motivated. Everything is interrelated when we're speaking about the conscious mind, the unconscious mind. They all work together. We're maybe used to speaking about motivation in terms of the conscious mind and just like getting stuff done. And when we're manifesting, we're thinking that, okay, I'm just putting that thought out there and it's going to happen like that. The thing is that your unconscious mind, which is working for your goals, also needs motivation. It also needs to believe that it is important for you to get there. Motivation is something that comes when you are driving towards something, when you are en route, working towards something. When you've actually reached the goal, there's no more need for that motivation. Okay, so hold on to that knowledge because this is huge and this is so important. This is the reason why most people are getting manifestation wrong. So when you achieve a goal, your body will give you a squirt of dopamine. It's a reward for getting there, and it's a way of marking that achievement as important so that you will be motivated to go after it again. Producing dopamine, it does require a lot of energy for your body, and your body is always looking to save energy. Your mind developed millions of years ago when there were few resources. We didn't have that much energy. We didn't have a lot of food. So your mind knows that energy is a limited resource, and producing hormones like dopamine, it requires energy. So your mind is not going to produce dopamine so that you can feel good, because why? Your mind is programmed to help you survive. It's the main objective of your mind. Make sure that you survive. It really doesn't care if you're happy. Okay, and this is important to understand. Your mind cares about you surviving, about your safety. Spending a lot of unnecessary energy is totally not aligned with how reality was a couple of million years ago. You just don't want to spend a lot of energy for what? For feeling good? Your mind doesn't work like that. Just imagine what life was like 2 million years ago. If our ancestors were just like walking around feeling good and happy and relaxed all the time, would that lead to humanity being prosperous and developing? Most probably not. Because it's that feeling of not having enough, that feeling of needing something that has been driving us humans forward. And that is the reason why we have motivation. It's the drive to get towards something. Imagine our ancestors. If they just reached their goals, and let's say they hunted for 2 days and they came back with a deer, huge goal, and lots of dopamine. Imagine if that dopamine just lasted for ages. Well, first of all, it would necessitate a lot of energy from your body in order to create that dopamine. And what would happen if you had, let's say, if you were one of those ancestors, if you had that good feeling, you didn't feel that you needed anything more, that you were just like so happy you'd reach your goal and you could stay there forever, what would happen? Well, you wouldn't have that motivation to go out again and hunt for another deer. And one deer doesn't last long when you have to share it with your whole tribe, right? So we humans, we have to be programmed towards wanting more and needing more, like believing that we need more. And there is no way that our body is going to waste time, energy, resources, because that could be life threatening for our ancestors. So your mind is always looking towards how you can save energy, and it only produces dopamine when you really need it. And you need dopamine in order to have that drive towards your goal. Your conscious mind needs it and your unconscious mind needs it. When you're working towards something that you're manifesting, a lot of people think that, okay, if I just think about that thing, that big house, that car, whatever, it's going to come to me. Manifestation also requires conscious effort. Yeah, we actually have to put in the work. You can't just sit at home and go, I want to get this, and then it's there. You actually have to put in the work. It's a dance between the conscious and the unconscious mind. You need both on your team. You need both to be motivated. You need both of them to work together in order to get to your goal. So let's summarize. When you reach a goal, your body squirts out dopamine and it lasts for a short amount of time. It's a reward and it's there in order to mark the happening so that you will save it as something important. You'll remember it. Remember that it's important and that you'll be motivated to go out and do it again. And when that initial dopamine squirt is over, it's over. There's no more dopamine. And there can't be, there shouldn't be, because we humans, we had to be motivated to go out again and get more food and make sure we had better housing and etc., etc. All of the stuff that has been so important for the survival of humanity. If we would have had plenty of dopamine all the time, we wouldn't have had the drive to go after our goals. If you were happy, content, and floating around on dopamine all day long, you wouldn't have the drive to go towards your goals. There's something else you need to know about dopamine. Yeah, we get dopamine when we get to the goal. It's a reward, but most of the dopamine is there when we're heading towards our goals. And as I said, it's there to give you energy, help you move, and give you drive and motivation in order for you to get to your goal. So dopamine is the molecule that makes you want to go after your goal. So people get this wrong because they think all the good feelings are in the goal, and it's actually the opposite. The good feelings are there when you're heading towards your goal. So I know so many people, and I used to be like this before also, and this is just how our minds work. We're programmed to think that everything will become better when we reach the goal, and the reason we have that programming is because we needed it several millions of years ago. If we hadn't had that, we humans would probably not be alive. Okay, so we have this programming making us believe that we need to get somewhere in order to be happy, fulfilled, whatever. Okay, so that old programming is there, but do we have to let that dominate everything? Do we have to let it be real, or can we change how we feel about it? Of course, we can change how we feel about it. Okay, so nothing is ever 100% like the way things have always been in your life. Look at them from this perspective. You can change everything. Maybe not 100%, but you can change a lot of it. There are scales, there are sliding scales. And if you have a programming that is on one side of the scale, you can move it towards the other side of the scale when you're working with your unconscious mind. I'll share more about that in another video. So let's summarize what we've learned so far. When you reach a goal, there's a squirt of dopamine. It doesn't last long. Real dopamine, the real good feeling, is when you're heading towards your goal, because the purpose of dopamine is to give us energy. Dopamine is actually connected to movement. It gives you energy, it helps you move, it gives you that drive to go towards your goal. And in order to manifest, we need to make sure that both our conscious and our unconscious mind is motivated. If not, we're not going to get to our goal. So how does that lead into manifestation? How does this motivation dopamine part lead into manifestation? You've probably been told that in order to manifest, you need to visualize yourself in the goal. You need to see it through your own eyes that you're there. You need to feel it. You need to bring on that identity. You need to be that person. And all of this is good and valid, because if your mind doesn't believe that you can actually get there, actually reach your goal and be that person, you're not going to get there. Okay. So let's be honest about this. It is true that you need to be able to see yourself in the goal, feel that you're there, be that person. But this is also the place where people get it wrong. You need to visualize yourself in the goal once, and that's it. You need to make your mind believe that it's possible. If your programming says it's not possible for me, I can't be happy, whatever I want is not for me, I can't reach my goals, and trying to visualize it makes you just scared and thinking that it's not possible for me, okay, that is probably the place you need to start. To be honest, you need to be able to believe. You actually need to believe, and you need to know that it's for you. You need to know that you are that person. You need to be that identity, to know that it's for you. You need to live it and feel it. Yeah, that's true. But only visualize it once. And why is that? Because most people, they get up every morning, they do their morning routines, their manifestation routine, and they're visualizing themselves in the goal every single day. With what I just told you, what do you think happens to people or yourself if you visualize yourself in the goal every single day? Well, your mind knows that you're already there. And what happens to dopamine when you're already in your goal? Aha, I just saw the light bulb moment. When your mind thinks that you've already reached your goal, it doesn't create any dopamine. It doesn't put juice behind your goal because you're already there. Why put in the effort in order to reach it? It's not going to put in the effort. It's the same way, a lot of people, when they set a goal, like maybe they say, oh, I'm going to write a book. They say it to so many people and people go, oh, that's amazing. That's so exciting. I'm so happy for you. Oh, you're going to write a book. And they get so much good feedback that they, it's almost like they already got all the rewards. And if you've gotten the reward, there's no need to go there, right? There's no need to put in the work if you already got all the positive feedback and the reward. So your mind isn't going to produce that dopamine that you need in order to get there. And this is what so many people are getting wrong, because yes, you need to know that it's for you, that it's possible for you, that you actually believe that you have the identity that matches your goal. You need to know that it's coming, and you need to know that you're working towards it. Your conscious mind needs to know it, and your unconscious mind needs to know that you're working towards your goal. So the way you do it is that, yes, first of all, check in with yourself, visualize yourself being in the goal so that it becomes familiar for your mind, because your mind doesn't like unfamiliar stuff. It thinks it's scary. So get familiar with being in that goal. Visualize it once, see it through your own eyes, feel what it's like to be there. Just like breathe that identity, be that person, and that's it. You leave it with that. After that, you see yourself moving towards the goal. And in the end, manifesting is about knowing that it's going to happen. You don't have to work on it every day. Just know that it's going to happen. You put it out there. It's a goal. You know it's going to happen. And that's it. Yeah, it's important that it's aligned with everything which is inside of you, that it's actually authentic, it gives you meaning, and that you believe that you can get there. And then put it out there. Know that you're going to get there. and know that you're working towards it. And that will set everything in motion. And yeah, you do have to put in work as well, okay? This is not something you can just sit at home and go, oh, this is going to happen and it's going to fall down in my lap. That doesn't happen. You need to put in the effort. The last thing I want you to know about manifestation is that most people are actually putting a stopper to the process every single day because they're afraid it won't happen. What if it doesn't happen? What if this happens? I'm so afraid it won't happen. And we go around, we have all those thoughts every day, thoughts of fear and worry. What if this? What if that? The thing is that you are manifesting every single second of the day. Every thought that goes through your head is manifesting your reality. It's creating something. So I know a lot of people, they do put a lot of energy into that manifestation routine, but in the end, you don't need a routine or a daily practice. It's every thought that is running through your head. That is what is creating your reality. Okay, I know that that can sound a little bit overwhelming. Oh, but I have so many thoughts, like 90,000 thoughts per day. Your thoughts are a result of your mindset, of your old patterns, of your self-esteem. So yeah, of course, there are things to work on. And it is important that you work on that stuff, that you build your self-esteem, you work on your mindset, you work on your identity, and building yourself up from the inside and out, strengthening yourself from the inside will help you remove all those fears, those what ifs, and all those things you're afraid of, because the reason that you're afraid and the reason why you have all those what if that happens is just because you don't feel secure on the inside. And it has all to do with self-esteem. If you don't have that inner confidence, that inner self-esteem, that inner sense of stability, your mind is going to look for safety on the outside. It's going to need to control stuff on the outside. And this is the reason why you get all the what if that happens and what if that doesn't happen, and all the attachment to everything outside of you that it has to be in a particular way. So it all comes from the inside. So yes, in order to have success at manifesting, you need to do what I said. You need to teach your mind that it's actually possible for you to get there. And then you need to teach your mind and let your mind know that you still haven't reached it, because that creates the juice, that creates the motivation to drive you towards it. And you need to be aware that every single thought going through your head is manifesting your reality. Many of the thoughts going through people's head, I know because I've been doing this work for so many years, most of those thoughts are limiting. They are negative. The thoughts are creating a negative reality. And fear and thoughts about what if it doesn't happen is the exact thing that is going to put a full stop on your manifestation process. So if you want to reach your goals, if you want to have success at manifesting your goals, yeah, do the stuff I taught you in this video. And also, you need to work on yourself. You need to build your self-esteem. You need to become stronger on the inside for your mind to really trust you and let go of all that outside attachment.